Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Up Call Show. I'm your host, Amy Ahlers, the Wake Up Call Coach, and I'm so excited that you're here joining me live or watching this video later. Here at the Wake Up Call Show, we're all about helping to transform sacred teachings into everyday wake-up calls so that you can shine bright. Now, today, do you remember that commercial? I don't know, it depends on how old you are, I guess, but there was that commercial at one point that had like the egg, and then they would say, "This is your brain," and then they'd crack the egg and into the frying pan and be like, "This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?" Do you remember that? You can put in right in the comments below. Do you remember that? Am I alone, people? You got to let me know here. So I was thinking about that the other day. It came into my mind because really that frying pan is actually your brain on stress. And according to the Center for Disease Control, 70% of all disease is stress-related. And I talk about this a lot in my book, Big Fat Lies Women Tell Themselves, right? I talk a lot about the stress. And by the way, if you haven't picked up a copy, pick up a copy. I've been falling back in love with my little baby here lately. But it's so interesting because the stress in our lives is really a remarkable thing, the way that our brain works. And when we go into that fight or flight situation, and all the oxytocin starts pumping through our brain. I'm sorry, not oxytocin, but I'm completely spacing. Okay, can you tell that I'm live? Because this would be, if I wasn't live right now, this would be one of those moments when I would be like, cut. All right, let me do that over. Oxytocin is actually the yummy, yummy hormone that happens when you're in love, that happens when you're nursing your little ones, when you're a first-time mom, when you have babies. There's all sorts of different hormones that get put into your brain right here, right now. If you know the answer, you can put it below, by the way. There's all sorts of other things that get put into your brain when you go into that fight or flight response. And cortisol, that's the thing that I was thinking of. Cortisol is the thing that your brain essentially marinates in. It really is like that egg in the frying pan. And when you think about it, it's really interesting. And I've been having this experience in my own life recently. But we're the only species on the planet that can think ourselves, imagine ourselves into a fight or flight response. When you think about, a zebra on the plains in Africa, they're just chilling out, eating, and then all of a sudden the tiger comes out, the lion comes out and wants to eat them. They immediately go into fight or flight. They run as fast as they can. They either make it or they don't. And if they make it, then they go ahead and go back into their normal relaxed state. But us as human beings, we're so busy imagining the tiger coming after us when it's actually not even there, that we're constantly putting our brains into this fight or flight response, raising our cortisol levels, and it wreaks havoc on our system. So here's my question for you, darling. Where is it in your life that you are imagining yourself into that fight or flight response, where you are actually imagining the worst case scenario time and time and time again? Now, if you've been watching my Wake Up Call shows over the last few weeks, you know that there's some stuff going on with my daughter at her school, and it's been really, really stressful. And I've been doing this. I've been actually imagining the worst case scenario time and time and time again. And so I've been literally putting myself into a fight or flight response, having trouble sleeping, having nightmares at night. It's been really hard. And I wanted to remind all of you that this is your brain on stress. This is what we do when we're stressed out, constantly putting ourselves into this fight or flight state that our body is not made to sustain. It's not made to sustain it. So, science shows us that our brains don't actually know the difference between real and imagined events. This is why we can get so caught up in daydreaming, really not even daydreaming, but day nightmaring about the worst case scenario. And then all of a sudden our body is going into this crazy fight or flight response. And so the good news is, and actually let's just do a little exercise about that right now. I always love doing this exercise. So go ahead and tilt your head back and open your mouth. And just imagine that I am squeezing fresh lemon juice into your mouth. I'm just squeezing it into your mouth. Are you doing it? Squeezing it into your mouth. I just saying it, I get that taste in my mouth as if, that tart feeling, as if there is actually lemon being squeezed into my mouth. Again, we know, our conscious minds know this is pretend, this is imaginary, but our bodies react as if it's real. So the good news about all of this means that we can actually use this to our advantage by imagining the best case scenario, by putting that subconscious mind to work. So I want you right here and right now to think about that situation in your life that's really stressing you out. In my case, stuff that's going on in my daughter's school, stuff that's going on with my daughter. And just close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath. And I want you to just imagine the best case scenario. What is the absolute best thing that could happen in this situation that you're thinking about, in this situation that you're imagining the worst case and putting your body into that fight or flight response? What is the best case scenario? So for me, the best case scenario is that the charter school that my daughter's in just turns a huge corner this week, and that it ends up being not only a place where Annabella is so nurtured and thriving, but a beacon, a model for schools around the world in what is possible for public school education. This charter is a Montessori plus arts integration plus design thinking school. It's like no other in the entire world that I know of. And the values are so incredible. And so I'm just imagining the school leaning into those values, and those values actually translating into what it is like on a daily basis in the classroom. So I invite you to just think about that best case scenario for you, darling. So actually, I invite you to actually post below, right in the comments section here. I'm going to go there just to see. I would love to hear your best case scenario and use the power of this collective right now, for you to, oh, beautiful, thank you. Thanks, Luz, it's so great. Susie, I love that you tasted the lemon. Yes, cortisol, yes. Since Psych 101. Yes, the fight or flight, yes, yes, yes. Oh, thanks, Lucy, for posting that link, Big Fat Lies book. Yes, thank you. So I want to know, if you have a moment here, go ahead and put in the best case scenario. Use this forum here on the Wake Up Call show, and with this collective of those watching live and watching this video later, go ahead and post, what's the best case scenario about something that you are stressing about? What's the best case scenario? Go ahead and post that best case scenario below, and so that we can together hold it in the collective of the best case scenario happening. Are you with me? Okay, good. So as always, I love ending with a little dance break here. And I thought that we need a little Black Eyed Peas today. What do you think? A little Black Eyed Peas of that tonight's going to be a good night. So let's just imagine that situation in our life that we've been stressing out about, using that worst case scenario about, and instead, let's just say that we've got a feeling that this situation is going to turn out okay. We've got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night, that this situation's gonna be all right. Ooh, I just made up a little rhyme there. Okay, so just dance it out with me, because when we dance, when we move our bodies, and we just let our brains go in. Now, let me tell you, fight or flight has no place when you are doing a little dance break. So go ahead and do a little dance break with me. I don't know, my husband might join us in a minute here. I don't know, Rob, are you gonna join us? That this situation's gonna be alright. Be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. The night's the night. Let's live it up. I got my money. Let's pick it up. Smash it. Like, oh my God. Let's kick it. Oh. Oh, here comes Rob Ahlers. You gotta get your head down, baby. My husband, the pook. Muzzle top. All right, everyone. Yeah. Let's do it. 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 Let's live it up. Okay. So take this energy with you today. Start imagining the best case scenario in your life, darling. Let's get out of that fight or flight. Let's move into that beautiful state of being where we imagine the best case scenario. We imagine what it is that we want in our lives, and then therefore we create it. It's Amy Ahlers, the Wake Up Call Coach, signing off, sending you love, hoping that you have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. I'll see you next week. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be live next week. I'm trying to figure it out. Let me know if you love this happening live. Let me know. Shoot me an email. You can respond to any of my emails. Shoot me an email. Leave me a comment below. Amy, keep doing it live. Let me know what time of day might work even better for you. I'm thinking that maybe once or twice a month I'll do it live. And I adore you. Remember, it is worth it for you to live your dreams and to realize them. And I believe in you. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.